Hello, fellow air shooters, and welcome back to another review on some actual budget guns, which we haven't really done too many reviews on budget guns on this channel, but I know you guys like that, so I'm trying to cater to the budget-minded folks by doing a couple reviews on some of the budget guns I come across. And today, we're taking a look at the Stoeger XM1 Scout. This is the shorter version of the XM1. You've got the Ranger and the Scout. The Ranger is the longer one, which I've got right there, and the Scout is the shorter one. And today I've actually got a 25 cal Scout and a 22 cal Scout. And so we're going to do a double header and review both of these at the same time. We're going to use digital optics on both of them just for ease in my recording and because I like digital optics. This is the Arkin Zulus, now the DNT Zulus. There's a rebranding that went on there. So if you're looking for one of those, DNT Zulus. And we have the Oneleaf NV400. I'll leave links for everything I use in this video in the description and comments below. But these are pretty nice guns. They are advertised as a recreational plinker and hunting gun. These are not a competition gun or anything like that, but they do exactly what they say they're going to do as a recreational hunter and plinker gun, and they're quite accurate. Also, if you look on the box here, you're going to notice some important words. 5-year warranty. I don't think I've ever seen that on an air gun before, so really long warranty period for these guns. Now, we're not going to do a whole unboxing thing like we do usually because I've already done that in my review for the XM1 Ranger. So if you're curious about that stuff, go ahead and watch that video. I do a complete breakdown, very detailed into the unboxing and everything like that, as well as shooting and chronograph numbers. But today, we're going to focus just on the shooting. Okay, so I've got probably the most common pellets for each caliber. Out of this, we're going to be shooting the JSB or FX 25.39 grain 25 cal pellets. And for this guy here, we're going to go ahead and shoot the 18.13 JSB pellets, which are pretty common in this caliber. Now, this gun's shooting them right at around 880, 885 with the 18 grainers. And this one with the 25.39 is shooting them, if I recall correctly, right around 870. And I have not touched any of the factory settings. So these guns are going to come with a regulator. It's going to be factory preset, rated around 150 bar. And again, I have not touched the hammer or anything. So this is exactly how you are going to get it out of the box. The only things I've done to these guns is I threw a moderator on here. This is just an FX Impact moderator with the Impulse Air baffles inside of it. That one's got a bare muzzle for now. And that one actually has a couple of little mods I did to it. There's plastic rails that come with these guns, and I actually, on searching on Amazon, I found a slotted rail here that fits perfectly on here because it has a slot in it, so it's kind of lenient on how you mount it. Here is the slotted metal Picatinny rail. It has a flat back, just like the polymer one that comes with it, but it doesn't have this cut down the middle, which makes it weak, and it's made of metal, so it's way stronger. Plus, with that slot, you can easily mount it in the same position using the factory screws. So that is a very helpful thing. Hopefully these are still available on Amazon. If so, I'm going to leave a link in the description and comments for you guys. Definitely pick these up. It comes with 2 sections this length and 1 longer section that maybe you could use on something else, but it's like 11 bucks. So totally worth it if you're mounting a bipod. So metal rail right here, just so I don't tear it up with a bipod. So I've added a bipod, a QD sling right there. And this gun does have a spot for a sling swivel at the rear. So if you want to add a sling like this, you can. I'll leave links for all that stuff. So before we get into shooting, I just wanted to show you, these both guns have no suppressor on them. So bare muzzle, and just for a length comparison, we've got the Scout up front and the Ranger in the back there. So the Ranger is quite a bit longer. It does have a longer air tube in it. And I've noticed that you get about the same number of shots out of each of these in 22 caliber, about 40 rounds per fill before you go under the reg. So let's go ahead and get down there, set up a chronograph, set up a target. And I think what we'll do is let's shoot, make sure we're good at 25 with a nice 0. Then we'll go out to 50, see how they perform. And then I'll set a couple of far targets out there at either 75 or 100 yards. Haven't decided yet. We'll see when we get out there how the conditions are. And we'll see how this gun is at its long game. So that's coming up next. Oh, and before I forget, I do actually have their bullpup model, which is really neat. I have not even mounted an optic on this or tested it at all. It's just been leak testing for a couple of weeks and it's held air perfectly fine. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned and we'll get another review on that after this one. But for now, let's go shoot those scouts. Okay, guys, so I am in the heated shooting shack provided by Vevor. I'll leave links, obviously, for all that stuff in the comments. But what we're going to do is we're going to use my FX chronograph here, and we're going to shoot a full mag at 25 yards. Unfortunately, I just did that, but I forgot to hit record on the scope. They were all in one hole. You'll see that in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and shoot another 10-shot group at that target at 25 yards. And right now, I already took the data from the first 10 shots. So we only went down about 25 bar. I have 10 shots. The low was 869.2. The high was 884.3 FPS. Average 874.8. Standard deviation of 3.81. Spread of 15. Ballistic coefficient of 0.034. And that is looking like some pretty good stats. And I know my BC, I think I put in 0.035 in here. So we might hit a little off at 50, but anyway, let's go ahead and shoot at 25 here. This time I will definitely hit record. Okay, I am recording and you can see that is the 10 that I just shot, but let's see if we can get a repeat performance. Okay, right in the bullseye. Had to remove the mag because I almost double loaded there. And we'll shoot 10 at this, and then that'll add to my stats there in the ballistic chronograph, and we'll be able to see what the numbers are over 20 shots, which will give us a better picture of the overall consistency of the gun. And here's the last shot. Okay, punched out the center of that target nicely again. And let's go over the stats for 20 shots. So we've got a low of 868.9, a high of 884.3 still, standard deviation of 4.05, and a spread of 15.4. So that's pretty good for a $300 and something budget gun. So let's go ahead and move this thing out to 50. We'll rely on the laser rangefinder and ballistics that I have in here to hopefully get us close enough at 50, and we'll see how she groups at 50 yards. All right, there's the two 25-yard groups. That was already there. Disregard that. From the 22 Scout, and that was the first one that I didn't record, and that was the second one. So pretty respectable. Definitely a minute of squirrel forehead at 25 yards for sure. Okay, target is now out at 50 yards. I've put a shoot and see target up there, one of the splatter targets, because it'll be easier to see. It's getting a little dark. Hopefully I won't have to come by tomorrow and finish the 25 cal portion, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm at 200 bar, so it's seeming that I'm getting about 25 bar per 10 round magazine, which lines up with the 40 rounds per fill before I go under the reg that I stated earlier. Catch my breath. I just ran out there to put that target out there, but let's go ahead and do this. I've got the chronograph still rolling, so we're going to get the stats for this whole string. All right, I just shot 5 at that, and it looks like a pretty good group. So let's just shoot the other 5 at the target above it, just so we can have 2 groups to compare before we take this thing out to 100. Okay, and of course I forgot to record. But anyway, there's the 5-shot group that I just put on the shoot and see. Pretty nice. Let's shoot the target above it. And I'm about to double load. Man, I'm losing it here. Okay, 5 shots. Getting torn up by mosquitoes for you guys, but that's okay. Last shot. Okay, so that's a pretty respectable group at 50. Both of those groups are, especially for just the 18 grain pellets that I'm using. So let's go over the stats. I've got 30 shots, low 868.2 still, high 884.3 still. Average is going to be 873.8. Okay, standard deviation 4.11. That is pretty good. And a spread of 16 FPS over 30 shots. So that is pretty dang good. When I walk out there to put the 100-yard target out there, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little close-up with my phone on those targets so we can look at them a little closer. And then we'll shoot 100 yards and see how it does. Walking up to the 50-yard target. So there is group 1 of 5 shots on the splatterburst target. Pretty respectable. And then there is my group on the above target. Also pretty respectable. Okay, so not bad for a budget gun at 50 yards, I'll tell you what. Now we're going to go way out there to 100, and I'm going to set these bad boys out there, which I've freshly painted. I think they're about 6 inches or so, and we'll try to see if we can hit those from 100 and see what it groups like. Okay, I've got my plates down there at 100 yards. I'm right at about 175, 180 bar in the tank pressure, and the reg set right around 150. So this is going to be a good test, and of course that's why we're doing these reviews, so you know what to expect when you buy this gun. This is going to tell us, are we going to get the full 40 shots, or is it going to drop off a little bit? So let's go ahead, we'll shoot that 100-yard target back there, see how she groups. I've ranged it with the Arkan Zulus, and it's telling me my hold, and I'm just going to hold whatever it tells me dead center of that target. I'm pretty sure we'll hit it, and I've still got the chronograph running as well. So let's see how she does at 100 yards, and getting this thing without any cant is going to be pretty critical at this yardage. I heard it, can't really see it. I'm zoomed out a bit. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oh, and of course I forgot to record again, so let's actually record. All right, recording. So we took one shot at it. I can't really see it. Maybe I can get a little bit better focus. That's worse. Okay, so they're right in the sun, so it's kind of glaring on me. It's hitting it. All right, velocity is still good. That was shot number 35. Oh, we just dropped a little velocity. 866 is the new low. And that is shot 37. And that's shot 40. So over 40 shots. Let's go ahead and show you this just so you'll absolutely believe me here. So we've got 40 shots, low of 863, high of 885, average 873, standard deviation 4.94, not bad. BC about 0.042, and a spread of 22.9. So that is not bad, and I know that we just started falling off the reg. So you will get the full 4 mags out of the 22. So since we can't see that target with the Zulus from here because it's in direct sunlight and these are really small marks on a bright target, I'll walk you down there. We'll take a look, see how it did. All right, we're approaching the moment of truth. And even from like 30 yards, I can't even see those hits because it's in direct sunlight. Oh, but now I can. And that is not bad, man. Wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I swear I heard 10 impacts. So that is not a bad group, dude, from a budget gun at 100 yards. So that's the 22. I've left that one out for the 25. The sun is rapidly going down, but I'm going to see if I can knock out the 25 portion of this review, so you guys have both right at your fingertips and you could decide which caliber you want. And I just took the moderator off to put this thing away, and we're right at reg pressure. So 150 there, and then the reg gauge down here, also 150. So it will get 40 whole shots, and that's the 22, baby. Okay, so I have just about enough light to go ahead and do this same exact test that we just did with the 22 version, except with the 25. Now this thing pushes about 41 foot-pounds, where the 22 pushes about 31. And the only other difference is that this guy has a 9-round magazine versus a 10-round magazine in 22. But anyway, let's hurry up and get this thing going before it gets too dark. And we'll start again with the 25-yard target. We'll just shoot a couple groups at that, make sure we're good, and then we'll go out to 50. Okay, so looks like we got a fresh target right there. All right, so that was 5. Let's give you some stats. All right, so high of 861, low of 847, standard deviation 4.98, and a BC of about 0.039. And let's take a 5-shot group at another target. I feel like I am sweaty, tired, and may have pulled those a little bit. Okay, so that was our 9 shots, since we only have a 9-shot magazine. But that group is looking a little bit better. I've kind of steadied up a little bit more. But over the 9 shots, I've got a low of 847.6, a high of 861.7. Standard deviation went down a little bit to 3.93, and a spread of 14.1 FPS over those 9 shots. So next, we'll take it out to 50, shoot a mag at 50, just like we did with the 22. Okay, I've got my target set out there at 50. We're going to leave the ballistics chronograph still tallying away our shots, and we will go ahead and see what this ballistics calculator says at 50 yards. Now these digital scopes, both the Arkin and this NV400, are pretty nice. Okay, so it's giving me my holdover. I don't think the NV400 displays it in the recording. Speaking of which, let's not forget to record this time. All right, and let's target that 50 yards. All right, very nice, right in the red. Wow, this thing is spot on with the ballistics. All right, so that was 4. Let's shoot our final 5 in the magazine at the one above it, just like I did with the 22, except I had one more shot. Wow. Okay, I kind of pulled that one a little. Let's try to slow down. Okay, so that, oh, one more. Easy now. Okay, so we're gonna go check that out as I walk up to the 100-yard target, but that was a pretty respectable group. Not bad. We can see the 4-shot group right there and then the 5-shot group right there. So not too bad for a pellet going 850. And the stats, we've shot 2 magazines, so that's 18 rounds, low 845.7, high 861.7, standard deviation 3.78. So always with this gun, it seems to keep them under 4, which is nice. Spread of 16 FPS in that 18-shot string. And the BC on these JSB Exact King 25.39 grain pellets is about 0.039. So we'll go take a closer look at that, and then we'll shoot the 100-yard target. All right, let's check out the groups from the 25 cal XM1 Scout. That is a nice little 4-shot group right there. And then this one up here was the 5 shots, and I did feel like I pulled that one, but pretty respectable at 50 yards for sure. So now I'll move this out of the way and we'll shoot way back there to the 100. Hopefully my ballistics calculator on that thing is still very true, and we'll see how it did versus the 22. And after 2 magazines on the 25, it looks like we're right at about 180 bar. So pretty sure we'll definitely have room for one more mag. All right, last mag at 100 yards. We've got the NV400 telling me the ballistics there. It's got my holdover there. So we're gonna go ahead and let her rip. And I will try to hold this as steady as I can right in the center of that target. Now, what you probably don't see on film is my holdover mark. But it's there. Not sure where that hit, but we're going to keep holding dead center. Okay, so let's look at some stats and then we'll go look at the target. We can see 27 shots there, low of 845.7, high of 863.8. Standard deviation, 4.18, not bad. And a spread of 18 FPS over those 27 shots. So let's go see how we did. And just to give you guys a heads up, it looks like I'm a little over the reg pressure. So you can definitely get 3 full mags out of the 25 at about 41 foot-pounds or 850 feet per second. So let's go check out that hundo. Well, walking out here, I just realized I failed to record on that thing. I'm bad about that. You wouldn't have seen much anyway because I'm so zoomed out to get the holdover where it needs to be on the target. But you're going to see the group size anyway. So let's take a look. I can see it here. It doesn't look too bad. So that was all 9 rounds had impacted. And there it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 2 hit on maybe on the exact one. I did hear impacts for all of them. So not so bad for a little budget gun. And man, even the 22 did kind of better. Well, overall there's some flyers in there, but pretty respectable for 100 yards for a sub $350 pellet gun. All right, guys, I've done it just as the sun is getting ready to go away for the day. I've completed the review on the 2 Stoeger XM1 Scouts, that being the 22 cal here and the 25. And I think I've shown you a reasonable amount of data and performance on these 2 guns. And man, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed, especially the 100-yard groups. I mean, you could be hitting squirrels with pellets with relative ease with these guns, and these come in sub 350 bucks. And additionally to that, you got the 5-year warranty, you got 2 mags included with each gun, interchangeable grip panels, you got the adjustable stock here that comes up and down. And if you want to check out more about the details of the gun, go check out my XM1 Ranger video, and that's where we kind of deep dive into all the features that it has. This video was more just about the shooting, but I showed you the groups, I showed you all the stats on the ballistic chronograph, and hopefully that's enough information for you guys, because that was quite a bit. But anyway, if you appreciate my efforts here, you can pay that back by just simply shopping through my Amazon links. It costs you nothing. If you click in through any of those links, the Amazon links in my description and comments, and simply do your regular shopping, I do see a little piece of that. So that helps the channel. And as you guys probably know, I'm unmonetized. So I do not monetize the channel through YouTube. Therefore, I do not get paid by YouTube, and you do not sit through commercials. So just a cool way to help the channel out, costs you nothing extra. And I'll link everything I used here today in the description and comments for you guys. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for checking out the review, and we'll catch you on the next one where we check out the Stoeger XM1 Bull Shark. Thanks, guys. Peace. All right, since you guys stuck around this far in the video, here's the 25 cal. I'm standing offhand right now. I'm going to take this rabbit. Done.